So going on from the previous video, we need to talk about the idea of arbitrary share index scores and the reasons for them. And you can see why here. We made a share index with literally only 4 companies. And these AMVs are huge numbers, okay? It only went down by about 400 or so from week 1 to week 2. But that 400, which is normally a large number, is meaningless, is a very small number when you're talking about these really large ones, okay? And last week we spoke about actual share indices like the All Odds Index, which you can see here, the All Odds Index, the top 500 companies in Australia. It currently has a score of 8450.70. How is that possible when our share index was 170,000 or so, when the top 500 companies in Australia only make 8481.90? That can't be true. Well, that is because these scores started off at an arbitrary number. Okay, someone decided the starting number of the All Odds Index. You can see here in 1980, the All Odds Index, someone just decided it would start at 500. Instead of using the actual AMV of the index, which would be an incredibly large number, and so looking at the differences in those numbers would be very meaningless because they're just so big. If we state that the starting score was a certain number, then we can tell how much it's grown at a glance because of the number it is now. So the All Odds Index began at 500. We know it's about 8,000 now. It's like 16 times as large. The Australian economy, based on the top 500 companies, is 16 times as large. And that's even worse for the Dow Jones. It started at 40.94 and it's now currently at 43,840. 43,840 divided by 40. The American economy is like over 1,000 times as large as it used to be based on using the scores. So literally all this exercise is about is just acknowledging that share indices have arbitrary starting scores and that we can deal with them by doing these steps. Identify the given share index starting score from the question. It's going to be a nice round number. This represents AMV1, whatever it actually is. So instead of using this whole number 172558, we might decide that it started off at 500. And we're going to work out what 500 reduces to here. Because 500 is an easier number to get your head around than 172,558. Okay? So step 2, calculate the percentage change in the share index between time periods, which is what I showed you in the last video here, that calculation. And step 3, apply the percentage change calculated in step 2 to the starting index score in step 1. So let's do the example. We're referring back to Martina. We're saying that it started off at 500 in week 1. Find the index score for her share portfolio in week 2. Well, we found it decreased 0.22%. Therefore, is 0.0022 as a decimal divided by 100. Apply that to the 500 base arbitrary score. 0.0022 times 500 is 1.1. So on the scale of a score starting at 500, it decreased by 1.1. So to work out the score in week 2, it's 500 minus the 1.1. 500 take 1.1. 498.9 would be index score in week 2. That's all that is, okay? So acknowledging that share index scores, because the AMV could be so high, we deem the starting index a score that we've just made up or someone else decided for you, and then we work out the percentage change, apply that to that score, and then we find the new score after. So hopefully that helps you out. You'll be able to do exercise 70.3 now. Hopefully that helps you out, and see you in the next video.